everyone. Welcome to our regular podcast, Corporate Beyond Stories. As always with you is me, Kat. 안녕하세요. And we have Baruch.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we have Kolat.
Dobre. Good morning, everyone.
My allergies continue. That's why I still have a horrible voice. We are continuing with the topic benefits, like we started last week. However, do we have any fun fact?
Fun fact! Yes, we do. So how old do you think yoga is?
You mean the exercise yoga?
Yeah.
I mean, this is again another trick question, I think.
I want to say 400 years, but maybe it's longer.
I think it's very short because probably the yoga as it is now wasn't the way it was when it started.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yoga is really young. It was introduced or developed in 19th century, so it's not even 200 years old. So it's really new. It is established on all the traditions, which are like hundreds, thousands years old, which goes really like into 5th and 3rd century before Christ. So really old ones. But the yoga itself, the exercises as we know it right now, and with all those yogins and everything like that, it's really fresh as the exercise, so it's really young. So they tell you like, oh, you were going to do some old traditional, exercise. Now it's just like this tiny little bit out of the practices yogins were doing, because yoga itself, or this is the history of it behind it, is more about asceticism, like living without anything. And the exercise was just like small part of it. So they took the exercise, made a fluff of it, make a buzzword out of it, yoga itself, and made it a something nicer, something what you can pay for, but it's not the true purpose of what was behind it.
It's just a marketing trick. Don't believe it.
The usual stuff.
Don't exercise it.
No, don't move at all.
Don't move at all.
Don't move at all. That's a good point. Don't move at all.
I like the word fluff around it. Fluff around it.
Or actually poop, crap.
No.
Okie doke. So we started last week about the benefits, and of course there are way more than what we just discussed. So let's just start with the one like after we already switched everything off, and then Kolat said, but what about the laptops? And my reaction was, since when laptops are benefits? And then he said,
yeah, some companies are still saying that we are providing you with laptop and that's benefit for you. And I'm like, what? So, yep, there are still companies which actually, like, if you're going to, and now again, going to the other companies, construction company, for example, they are providing you with equipment, hammers and everything like that. Imagine that they will come and tell you like, here is a hammer so you can do your job, but it's a benefit for you. Otherwise, you will need to use a hand. How? What just happened? So laptops, I feel like it's a work equipment.
correct.
I agree that you can bring your own. It's again a decision between you and your boss, and during the hiring process, as it goes with construction companies. I believe that you prefer your own hammer than the company ones. That's totally feasible and possible. It's just that I don't feel like I would be putting it as a benefit, like use the laptop. And mostly when it comes with all those limitations, like you bring the laptop home and you can use it properly for anything, basically. Because there are all those markers and restrictions. It's like in a construction company, you would like to put their bottle for drinking water, and they will say you like, no, that's too risky, and you can drown yourself with that. So laptop is one of my least preferable benefit. I mean, I expect that company will provide me with tools and not just laptop with software and equipment that I need to do my work professionally.
Matcha. Another pretty favorite one, I have to say, and this is not me being sarcastic, I really mean it. Some company offers so-called like 3 self-recovery days, or now they are even called health days. So again, here in Slovakia, normally if you visit the doctor or you go to doctor, you need to also bring like a paper from the doctor officially that you are either sick or you just don't feel well. These 3 days means you don't need to bring any paper. It's just when you just don't feel well enough, you just simply take them, and you can use 3 of them during the year. So I like that one, because sometimes you might really just feel down or not feel well, maybe even a hangover, whatever it could be.
There is one benefit which goes beyond that. And it's not that common. I know about a few companies which have it, and it's unlimited vacation.
Oh.
That you can pick and draw any number of vacations you want. And the thing is that once you apply this, you need to stick to it. So you need to be really fine with that if your employee suddenly spends double the amount on the vacations. That's tough. But what usually happens is that what statistics shows is that usually people don't use even the basic package of the vacations. So if you go for the unlimited, you are not tracking them if they spend the minimum amount. With unlimited vacations, we will not take care of you and your well-being in terms of vacation. So you are not like checking them to spend it. So what happens is that most people will not take even the basic package. And that's why your performance is higher if you have unlimited vacations.
That is the strangest thing, but I really think it comes down to the management, right, in the company.
I've read that one of the car companies in Germany also offered unlimited vacation. And we literally talk from manufacturer people up to like management, etc. And in average, the maximum that one person took was 31 days. But in average, people only spend like 20 days on vacation, in average. And here, again, I'm just going to mention in Slovakia, if you are to the age of 32, you have 20 days of vacation a year. If you reach 33 and above, you have 25 days of vacation. And fair enough, even, and we are, let's say, almost forced to use the vacation because companies don't like to pay for you for that. It's very hard sometimes for me to spend the 25 days of vacation.
Why am I not surprised, Kat?
Not this year, because guess what? Me and Baruch, we are flying to South Korea in 2 weeks.
Just in 2 weeks, yes.
So there goes already 10 days.
So, dear burglars, you know that their flats are going to be empty by this date.
No.
Here is the address. Listen to the end of this podcast.
No. It's just me and Baruch, not my husband and the puppy.
And
So
you're free to,
It's going to be...
Just in words of my mom, feel free to take this furniture that is fit for funeral home. Any funeral home owners, you are welcome to come.
Okay, so that was vacation. And then also there is another benefit many companies offers, which is a repayment of, for example, language courses. If you study another language, you pay for it, you bring the papers, and the company repays you for that.
In general education, like they can pay you for education courses, certifications, whatsoever. So there is this possibility here. And that goes hand in hand with my sarcastic one. That's professional development or career development. Like you have this benefit that we are going to develop you professionally and you're going to have career here, which I'm like a bit doubtful about. Like we are providing you, paying you for some courses and certifications so that you can become better professional. But again, it's sort of like, but it's for my benefit as a company that you are getting better. So how is that a benefit? That's one of the things. The other one is that like I can't ensure that you're going to be promoted. I can't ensure that your salary will go high if you don't perform. So how I can say it's benefit if it's not like, if it's possibility, it's not like given, but it's a possibility. And it's not a guarantee. I'm guaranteeing you that we will give you management courses and stuff like that, but we don't select you for manager. So where is this professional development, career development benefit which you mentioned?
The one that I like, which is weird because I don't have any kids, is when companies offer you a kindergarten or possibility to have your kid in a kindergarten that is near the office, which I imagine must be a great time saver and very convenient, especially where we live. It's hard to find any kindergarten. So yeah, that makes it much more easy. And if it's close to the office, it's even better.
Connected to that, there are also discounts. Like your company might have a nice brand, your corporate might have a nice brand. It's a, tough line there. And they may have a discounts around that you are ordering food and you get a 10% discount for ordering it through that service or taxi service or, whatsoever. So you might be going for a nice vacation, for example, because your company has a good name outside of the country and the hotel provides you with 20%, if you go through that discount part. So there are ways around it.
On last episode, I, as a recommendation, ask you guys to go on your benefit portal and check what kind of benefits your corporation offers you. Did you do your homework? Because, and I know I don't mean you too, I mean our listeners, right? Because sometimes there are really benefits, like just Kolaj was mentioning about the discounts, that there are companies that you might never even be able to remember because it's just so many of them, right? And basically, in that case, you should work with that portal, benefit portal, pretty often, or go there pretty often, just to check that, I don't know, like me, I have a dream to try CrossFit. And I have this dream for a couple of years. I haven't tried it yet. I didn't find the courage, but I also found on our benefit portal that we have one CrossFit where we have the first lesson for free, just to try it. So even if it's offered for free, I still haven't found the courage, but it's there. So really go on that portal and find out and work with it regularly, because also your priority keeps changes.
And also the companies on that list will be changing as well, I imagine.
There is one thing with all these benefits and all this stuff, and I saw one video which summed it up pretty much nicely. All these companies incorporate is transactional work, which means you do your work and you get your pay. And think about that, sort of a benefit here. So when you go and say like, and you're picking, based on that, you are picking the companies, like that's the competition part from their side. But there is also this part where you go and you are going to be too picky. So be careful what's your boundary, because in that video, which was, and it was reflecting the current situation pretty much and pretty well, I think, was that 20 years back, when you joined the company, you were like, oh, I joined this company, I have my desk and chair, that's awesome, I can work from here. And now I feel like kids these days, they are joining the company and like, I don't like the shade of the flower which is next to my seat, or you have just MacBooks Pro and not MacBooks Air, I'm not going to work here. And I feel like that's kind of already too much for being a picky asshole than, like being appreciated that you can actually work there and get the salary, so that's the transactional part. But again, that's probably just my thing here, my side. Definitely go for the benefits, go pick the company based on the benefits. It's just that find what's the limitation and probably don't ask for stupid things,
So our dear listeners, don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a comment. You can either listen to us on all the podcast platforms, or we are even on LinkedIn. We are on YouTube. So please follow us, subscribe, leave a comment, or even tell us a topic you want us to cover, right? And with that said, I'm going to say 수고하셨습니다.
Bye bye.
Ciao, 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 ciao. Bye, bye, bye.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.